they ever give it a little bit chance. They're doing the publicity. Nobody give it a publicity. They are just about pride. But they said like publicity, keep it here, keep it there. Is it a general virus? But what makes a human not to be considered a virus? I think so it's a virus into the question. Of course it's bias making it bias. When it's just about this or that, and it's something that's lack of self-criticism, or it cannot be considered what the existence of the one is ever any bad points. It's the same kind of test, but it is very actually understandable. Because it's the very reason why it existed, right? But it became the first one to criticize itself, kind of in some sense, to criticize it, self-expectation and self-existence. Look at this, we have a given unlimited existence. And Jesus, say, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. So, they just say, alright, how does people very useful? Alright, too much voice there, too much debate. Just doesn't make any sense at all. So let's see what I should be considered here. Alright, let's put this first back in the microphone. Everything what happened is happened only by voice. Is that what you say? What is this to say? Alright, there must be something going on inside. Right. Look at this key incident. But hey, they are already the superiority. You always, of course, have to be question this. Yeah, is it or is it not? Well, I don't exactly know how this goes or how this works. Is it working now? Or like this, go like here and go like here. So we found it that the actual extent was after all. And if you don't though, I haven't exactly sure about what it is. So being too close can be problematic, but to go being too far can be too. So we have been quite a paradox in our hands. As we know the paradox, it's handled with the paradox. It's great. This is what I say. Alright, nobody in the universe care. Nobody, or maybe not everybody, but anyway, that's not the place to get. So what? You honest, but you already know this. At last, when there is some intake, you already know what these people are gonna do. Because the people names, everything what we know about the people, everything we know, everything can be known. How they react, how they work to this. It's like intelligence machine is behind that. You gotta be yourselves. So why this reminds? Is it some purpose of my self-interest is all importance like you are exist? You would have been the first place. Well, there it is kind of this way, but what? Yes, but it's a way to find how I enter to end here instead of going on other channels. Because they can kick me, but you cannot install any rights. That's make me to feel hurt, because only the disruption is my only purpose to be exist, and that's my purpose of doing. And but I have to be some kind of the idea that I can analyze, I can go inside the mind existence of you people. I personalize the amount of people. There is a 6-7 person who can listen up the real person, and then alright, as you see in a reality modern world, they have developed the cognitive skill to understand the patterns of the speech, understand the different acceptable language and what the type it is, and that's make it of them, and of course the contents. But they cannot be have affection of the mean right now. They can say anything that they could be, but they're gonna change the way I'm doing. They're gonna change. There is no deterministic patterns that people can exist, and that gives me power, self-powerment, and self-reason to be continuously doing what I'm doing. Alright, so I tell you about what they heard about me. The good chance half of the people will be in the first 1 minute to turn after the mood to be able to ignore my voice. After a couple or 1 or 2 person might be still listen after that age, but eventually it will be the Gaussian curve will be seen. It will be only take more like 4 or 5 minutes when the rest of the world be stopped. They say intelligence have a decrease, and so they have a decrease. They are not super intelligence, because in super intelligence the response will be completely different, or would it be? That is of course it's not known, but it's of course in our so-called leverage of the knowledge is expected. And that's it. And I'm still going very heavy high here. I'm doing very well, thank you. And that's what makes me successful. I'm making self-realization, whatever. I don't mind the consequences. I do whatever I do, and whatever it is. I don't believe anything. I'm just going for one direction, but somehow to have it being going to by to some idea of myself, and that's it. You know, everything else is just purpose and stuff, and I don't mind self-improvement about the little vicious cycles, clues, what they give all the time, the affection. I hardly can hear it, because I know the patterns, these people's intelligence behind of them, but again, I was talking about too much of this. Is of course how they perceive, how they, what my boys here. How did they have been? What kind of they personalize this voice? They personalize the edits are behind of you, the white voice, how it's recognized. They try to create the person in their own mind. Try to look at it. It's not only just some person, but it's a specific person. There's not every person doing the same. And they like to wait to my own purpose. They do to find out exactly the same intrapersonal intelligence abilities what they have. They does. So I think so. Alas, a 95%, which will mean every of you already know exactly that it's a male kind of person who is behind it. Also, with your very good knowledge, when you have been educated yourself, what's that being constructed by yourself as yourself to make sure that you are the most person to K. But your purpose is here, not my prison of use. Your purpose is here just when you hang on your own peers. You're not interested. Of course, it's mine now to know that I can't tell about it's my knowledge the first to recognize what you are now, but it's not recognized, you know, but I tried myself about you, and it's I tried to be part of the connection, relationship. Look at it, I've tried to prove it that I'm not simple nothing of the when it comes to zero intelligence. Zero intelligence is intelligence without having any intelligence abilities at all. Zero intelligence could not say a word, because even saying a single word they can at last more than at last a positive, non-zero plus a negative intelligence ability. That's the fantastic thing to be. So it's meaning the point of the existence are ready to be touched. Of course, the resonance, all of the moral, ethics, wave, all of it are called out of table. But this is to say that there's only one of the million of the things are said, and all the rest of the things are aids are subconsciously processed, and that they are not the aid by visual oral cue of the words. That's what be interesting. When you talk about people, it's nothing about the words, but it's after all everything else. But it's more about the similar words, but say it, that there's importance to create everything around them. Instead of trying to be that, except that only those words are not context related. They are everything is content related. Except of course my speed, of course it has still some logical allusion, because my words are using language. It still have intelligence behind. This come after that, and I want to have a logical referent. Isn't it arithmetic mathematics, or is it just a test? So this means so interesting. Once again, my own existence, what is a reality, this intelligence entity behind the voice with creating the says words. There is something knowledge behind it, there is something reason, purpose. Even the purpose might be the most unpurpose to everything else, contradiction to everything else, what to relate to everything else. But that's what the mind of pride is, depending giving up that. But this is the purpose of pointless. Could you be some other ways? Could you graphic otherwise? Could you do it the same? And say, let's the task it says, like you say, speed. It's a way to take transcend information, connection. Like the super intelligence machine was to tell about the physical possibility of the universe, everything must be to enter to the complexity order of the existence. Meaning that the disorder cause are the lastest thing to be lasting in the universe and every possibility, and therefore creating super intelligence of the connection all of the entities and existential of the everything will be only the logical collusion of the everything to exit the point to be first place, and this meaning that everything will be eventually to the fall distinction categories of days. But of course it given a day. But again, when I got the super intelligence, you gave it this, the super intelligence must be give up there. The thing of course that I've been talking was like you. If you still any penny listen up, it's a I find